What's going on, you vaping horse? This is the vaping fish, and I'm bringing you a video on drippers. Yeah, drippers. I hit that shit. Nice. Drippers. Now, let's talk about drippers. What are drippers? They're dripping atomizers. They're called RDAs, rebuildable dripping atomizers. That's what they're called. Or attys, or open tops, or I don't know what so many names they have, so I don't really know. I just call them attys. So, these things are excellent for flavor. They're excellent for flavor, excellent for making big clouds. You got your your space between your mouthpiece and your vapor really close, so you're gonna get more flavor out of a dripper than out of a tank. I know there's some good tanks out there that I really like and I use, but they cannot compare to a dripper. The drippers are usually better because of that you have a more direct hit of your vapor. Now, it's a bunch of different ones. There's a bunch of originals and authentic. There's a bunch of clones. Not all originals authentic are good, and not all clones are good. So you can also find some very nice authentics and very nice clones. So you gotta be careful. Check your shit. Do research, stuff like that, so you can get the right one. I do recommend getting you the first one to be a one with a large deck to work with, large deck. You can work with it. You have the space to make your coils. Now, coil building, I already showed you a video on the tools that you need. First and most important one, you need an ohm meter, so you can read the resistance of your coils. You need a pair of ceramic tip tweezers. You need those little small snipping, little pointy wire cutters. You can get in little tight places. You're gonna need screwdrivers, those precision screwdrivers. You're also gonna need a Kanto A1 wire. That's your beginning material, and of course your wicking, that will be cotton. I prefer to use Japanese organic cotton, but that's my choice. There's a lot of different cotton out there. Try to go for organic. Don't try to buy the cheap shit from the pharmacy, or your store, your convenience store, whatever. That this does bleach cotton, and it's not gonna work the same, and the flavor is not gonna be the same. So don't be such a cheap ass and buy some good shit. So that's what you're gonna need. Kanto wire, the A1 Kanto wire, I like to use 24 and 26. That's the basic for my builds. I build between 0.2 and 0.5. That's my range for now. I haven't done any fancy builds or anything like that. I'm just doing the basics because I'm learning. But it has worked out pretty good for me. I'm pretty satisfied with the builds. I calculate them. The thing with an RDA or a dripper is that when you get to know that dripper and you get to know what it likes, the coil size that it likes, the resistance that it likes, and the airflow that it likes, because all of them have airflow, and the power that you're gonna ramp it up to, and the wicking style you're gonna put on it, and the right juice you're gonna put in it. Once you figure that shit out, man, you're gonna be in heaven. That's like fucking symphony harmony shit that's gonna come all together, and it's gonna give you the best fucking satisfying vape ever. I can close once, but I fucking didn't, I should have replicated that. It was smaller, dripper. I call it Mr. Owl. Small, very small little airflow on it. But I did a good build on it, and I wicked it right, and I dripped it right, and I hit the power right. Man, when I hit that shit, I was like, let me just give you, an idea of what the fuck happened that day. I was just trying it out, and I was like, I finished, I just started like looking at this shit. Just looked at it, and I went, I fucking love you. It was that fucking good. It was that fucking good. I fucking loved it. And it was wonderful. I mean, it just gave me the best freaking vape I ever had, better than any fucking tank or any. I mean, it was just a nice vape. When I'm dripping, okay, this is, I'll show you before, this is the Frankensteiner. And the Frankensteiner tastes like fruit. It has some fruit in it, some menthol in it. It has some tobacco in it, some swamp ass in it. Yeah, swamp ass. But it's still pretty decent. I do like it, you know. Let me just. Mutation XB3, pretty good, decent flavor on it. It's alright. It's not the greatest one. Yeah, how about some other ones are better, but still pretty decent. And it's very easy to build with this one. That's what I liked about it. It has enough space so you can build right. And when you're beginning, you want space on your deck so you can build right. There's a lot of different configurations on attys. All drippers are different. They have different spacing, you know, they have different mouth tips, they have different airflow, they have different posts, they have different spacing where the well is. I mean, everything changes. There's some similars, but everything changes on every freaking dripper. And that's what makes it fun, because you have to figure the fucking thing out. Now, how I classify the drippers is like this. It's my own freaking thing. I have the small, medium, and large size-wise, right? And then I have my bottom feeders, my low feeders, medium feeders, and top feeders. That's for air. So when I go small, medium, large, that's the size, and then I go bottom, low, medium, high. Like for example, this one. This is a medium-sized one with a medium feed. That's your airflow in the middle. Let me show you another one. This is a troll, and this one the same thing. This is a large one, but this one also has a middle feed. This one, El Cabron, is also a large one, and it has a middle feed. The Kennedy is a large one, but it has a bottom feed. The airflow is on the bottom. The Tove is a medium one, and it has a low feed. The Support is a medium one, and it has a top feed. This one works pretty cool. This one actually, the air goes, when you know, give it the hit, the air goes through there, travels down and up the mouthpiece. So this is a top feed on the air. And then you have some that have dual air shit. So for example, this one, the Lycan, I really like this one. This one has a dual feed. This one has a low feed and a medium feed. So it has two air intakes, the one there and the one here. So, you know, there's some hybrid. So everything changes on every dripper. You know, the way they vape is different because of that. And that's the fun part again, because you have to figure out what they like, you know, and then you start messing and changing shit around. So when you're beginning to build, you're going to waste a lot of wire, a lot of fucking wire and a lot of cotton. So be ready for that. Don't be like, I'm going to buy just one. No, buy 100 feet of that shit, because you're going to go through it pretty damn fast when you're practicing. Again, you know, try to build with different diameters on the coils, different resistance on the coils, different wicking. The wick is you use organic cotton to put it through the coil, you know, and then you sink the tips into the well so it can be constantly feeding that coil with some juice. I'll explain to you the parts of the dripper. Let me just give you another fucking hit here. These are slow hits. You can do fast hits. You can also control the hit how you give it. You can give it a very slow one. If the slower you give it, you're gonna get a warm vape. You want a warm vape, but not a hot vape. A warm vape will bring out the flavor. A hot vape is not gonna be that great. And also always check your wicking. You see if you have enough juice. You don't want to get a dry hit. A dry hit is when you run out of juice and all you get is some nasty, hot, burnt cotton taste on your fucking throat, and it tastes like shit. So re-drip the shit every 5 to 7 hits. That's what I do. Sometimes depending on the hit, sooner. Slow vape, you know. Slow hit, but you can give it like a fast hit. Creating much more vapor because you got more, faster air going through it. So, and you get, more intense vapor, more intense flavor. If you want it hotter, warmer, just close the air vents a little bit more. If you want it more airy, you open them up. So you configure the build completely, from the tip that you're using, the airflow, the coils, the resistance, the wicking, the power you're throwing at it. Every single factor will give you the end result of the vape. And that's what I'm trying to tell you here. Once you figure them out, you master a freaking, one of those drippers, man oh man, you're gonna get a very satisfying freaking vape, better than anything you tasted before. So I figured that out, and that's why I like drippers a lot. Plus, it's fun to build. I mean, who doesn't like to build? I like to build, Now, let's go into the parts of a dripper. You have your mouth tip. This is called a chuff because it's a very large mouth tip. Then you have your top cap, just right here. And this one has cutouts because that controls the airflow on your dripper. You can see the cutouts there. Close them or open them, depending. This is your chimney, your sleeve, or your body. And then you have the most important part, your deck. Your deck. Well, this, you can see the coils right there that I built. It's a dual coil, and you have your negative posts on the inside and your positives on the middle. When you put your coil, you have 2 leads. One going to a negative post, one going to a positive. And on the other side, the same thing. One going to a negative, one going to a positive. That coil cannot touch anything. It has to be like free floating. You cannot touch any other part of the atomizer. Just the leads go into those and you screw them on tight, and that's it. That's all you do. And then once you have this and you already owned it, you check the resistance is within range of whatever thing you're using. You wick it. How do you wick it? You get a piece of cotton, and you twist the tip, you pass it through the middle of the coil, get equal sizes on each side, and then you cut it and you put it to, I want to say, a little bit less than ½ inch on each side. And then what you do is with a little screwdriver, whatever, you just push in the ends inside that well. That little pool, that's your e-liquid well. That well will be feeding your wicking, your cotton, and that's going to be keeping your coil moist. If your coil is not moist, you're going to get a dry hit. So that's what the shit's for. So you have your positive pin. That positive pin is in there and it's connected to the middle post, your positive post. And inside that pin, right behind that pin, there's an insulator that goes in through there so it doesn't make contact with any part of the body of the atomizer or the dripper. If it makes contact, you're gonna have a short. So that you have to check that insulator. Often, sometimes they do fail or crack, and so if you get a better quality dripper, you're probably gonna get a better quality insulator. So that's your basic parts of your dripper: your deck with your contact pin, your positive and negative posts, your well in there, and then your chimney or sleeve or body, your top cap, and then your drip tip or chuff cap or whatever you want to call it. Some have an adapter so you can put a smaller 510 drip tip on the smaller one. So it all depends what you use it for. Like this one is designed to make a lot of clouds because of the way it's designed. There's some other ones that, for example, the Sapor that is designed to give you more flavor than clouds. All of them are going to give you good vapor, but some are going to give you more vapor and some are going to give you more flavor. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to decide what you want. If you're looking more for flavor or you're looking more for vapor, or bigger cloud. So I like both. So that's why I got different ones, because sometimes I feel like just chucking on fucking big ass clouds and just fucking blowing fucking, clouding out the fucking room. And sometimes you just feel like getting a good vape and just really getting a very good taste out of your e-liquid. It all depends on what you feel like. Some people just like to get vapor flavor and they go for those type of attys. Some people like to be chasing clouds, so they go for that type of atty. Again, I got a combination of both because sometimes I feel like doing one thing, sometimes I feel like doing another thing. So yeah. Another thing I wanted to touch is not all drippers give you the same option. Some drippers give you an option to build a single coil on them. Some don't give you that option. So you have to build a dual coil on them. There's no way to build one coil because of the airflow configuration on it. So you'll figure that out. When you have, it doesn't really matter on the post it has inside. It matters on the airflow configuration, how you can adapt the airflow. Because you only have one coil, you don't want a lot of air on it, because you have air coming through here and through here, and you probably won't get a good vape on it. The ones that give you an option for single coil will have a way to close out the whole atty, just leave one opening where that coil is at. So some do give you an option to do that, some don't give you an option to do that. Another thing, whenever you stop using your atomizers and put them away or whatever, and then you're gonna start using them again, check that you have juice on them, first of all. Second, retime those screws. Some screws do come loose because of heat or whatever. They do come loose, so you need to recheck those screws before you hit it again. And right when you put it on your machine, if you have a regular machine, most of them tell you your ohms. Just check it's the same ohms you build. Some don't. If it's a mechanical model, it won't tell you your ohms. So you have to put it on the ohm meter first, check it, and then just put it in your machine. Always check your shit before you use it. You don't want this shit shorting out. It happened to me on one that it came loose, and I had built it to like a 0.4, and when I put it on there and I checked it, it was almost a 0.9. So one of the leads came loose, and the screw, it opened up, and the lead came loose. So it was only reading one coil. So that shit can happen. And I timed the shit out of that one. It just came loose. I don't know why it just came loose. It happened to me. Also, you don't want hot spots on your coils. Whenever you building one, you have to have a mod on it once you check your ohms and everything, because you gotta dry fire the shit so you can arrange with the ceramic tweezers and compress the coils a little bit and arrange them where you want them. And both coils have to glow, more or less at the same time. It has to be a very small delay between one and the other, barely noticeable. They should light up or glow at the same time, and the glow starts from the middle out. So once you start hitting and arranging it, you're gonna see that you just pulse it at the beginning. Just pulse it. Start warming them up until you get to that point where you can actually glow them, and arranging them and stuff. And once you arrange them correctly, you hit it. They will both glow at the same time, and it will be from the inside of the coil out, and you'll be ready to bake. Wick it. Don't wick it before you do that shit, because then you start burning your freaking cotton. So just do that first, and then once you have it ready, you wick it, and then you get your juice on it, and you're ready to go. Always start with a low setting. There's a lot of different calculators out there you can check, but once you start building, you start more or less knowing the resistance. And for example, I have a 0.2, a 0.3. I'm gonna probably start at 35 to 40, and then from there I can go up. If I have higher resistance, it's gonna be higher power. Actually, no, higher resistance, lower power. We have a lower resistance, a higher power. So you start you by looking at your resistance, you more or less know where to start at, your starting point on the setting, and then you can work yourself up, and just adjust the air and adjust the setting, ramp it up or bring it down, whatever you need to do. What else can I touch on this shit? Well, safety has to be in your mind. Safety it's important. You have to check your shit all the time. Again, you're messing with hot coils. Those things will fucking burn you. I mean, they'll brand your ass if you're not careful. So that's one thing. They can short out. If you don't build them right. There's a lot of things that can happen if you don't pay attention to what the fuck you're doing. So that's basic on that. There's another option you have in case you don't want an addy because of the dripping thing. You want like a tank because the convenience. They have some hybrid tanks. Let me show you a hybrid tank. This is a Goblin, and this one is a hybrid. This is a tank, but it has a rebuildable deck inside, and let me show you. I'll take it apart, taking the top part off, taking the glass part of the tank, taking the top chimney off, taking that little sleeve that it has there. That sleeve will protect your actual deck from touching anything else or your juice going in there. This little sleeve right here. Of course, all hybrids are built different, but this is the one I have. It has a little sleeve on, and then you have your variable airflow here at the bottom. There, you have your airflow, and then you have this shit right here. Let me see if I can take this shit off. Some juice on it. Get slippery. And the thing is, I don't want to ruin my coils. There it goes. I'm taking the shit off so you can see everything on it. This is the bottom part where the tank connects, and then this is your deck, and this is a miniature deck. You see the coils there? It's a very small deck. It's a 4-post, and as you can see, you see those holes right underneath those coils. There's your coils right there, and then there's some holes underneath them. That's your airflow. Your airflow comes from the bottom right there, and it goes up those holes. You need air, to move that vapor up to your mouthpiece. And you see those indents that are right, side by side. Those are your weak points, waking points. Let me show you. I'm gonna put the sleeve back on so you can see, and your tank, of course. You see the little holes once that sleeve is on? Okay, those are your feeders. That's where your juice is gonna travel to. Because of gravity, the juice is traveling downward, and it's gonna be sucked in through those little holes. And what is gonna suck in the juice through those little holes? Well, your wicking, your cotton. You're gonna put your cotton through those coils, and you're gonna cut it just big enough to put those ends into those cutouts. Put them into those cutouts. Like, remember, reverse U. That's how you wick it. You put it through the coil, cut like, less than half an inch on the regular dripper. This one, it has to be smaller, and then just enough, and then you push it in those cutouts. And then once it's pushed in those cutouts, then you put your sleeve on, and then you figure out if it has too much. Well, then you need to take some off. The only thing when you have this kind of tanks, you gotta be careful. Again, those coils have to be free floating. They cannot touch anything, because you're gonna short out. You have to have them free floating. Only the leads of those coils have to be on the right post, positive and negative. That's all. Just make sure of that, because if not, you're gonna put everything together, and when you check it, the shit is not gonna work. So you can short it out, or I don't know, you can do some stupid shit there. So you need to be careful. The only thing I have a complaint about this thing is that little screw. This way you have to take it off in order for you to juice this thing up. Take that screw off, and then you juice it through there, and you put the screw back on. Thing is, it leaks from there. If you don't time, hard enough, it will start leaking from there. Plus, you're probably gonna end up stripping that screw after a while. So they need to fix that. I love the Goblin, believe me, I love the fucking tank, but they need to fix that. They need to fix where you actually, they should do a top feed on this shit. Fucking dropping everything. They should do a top feed on this shit, because it's a great little tank, but it just needs that improvement. But it's a nice little option you have to get a hybrid tank, because you have that convenience of carrying more juice with you without having to drip, but you're gonna get a very close dripping experience because of the way this thing is designed. And let me put it back together. And I have to put it back together right, because if not, try to fucking vape it, and the shit is gonna start dripping and doing some nasty shit, and I don't like that. Just put it. This has a lot of little pieces, but once you get used to it, it's not that difficult to figure it out. All you gotta do is pay attention how you take it apart, so you can put it back together. And you cannot feed it to the top by removing this, because as soon as you remove this thing comes loose, and you can start, all the shit is coming out to the bottom. So you need to be careful. Let me put a chimney on top, then the glass tank, and this is a V2, so this one has a larger tank, and also comes with a smaller tank. It's like less than 3 ml or less than 3 ml, with a short chimney. So you have a short chimney, you're probably gonna get better flavor. I like the large tank because of the convenience. It carries more juice, but you know, I tried it both, and yeah, the smaller one gives you a little bit better flavor. But you know, it's a nice option to have a hybrid tank. So this is a combo between dripper and a tank, and you're subliming with this shit. So what else can I tell you guys? Well, that's about it on drippers. And I mean, you can mount those as long as you have enough power, you know, to fire them up. You can mount them on anything, you know. It can be a regular mod, mechanical mod, you know, whatever you're using, as long as you have enough power to juice them up, you know, to fire them up. Because you can be going at it, and then if the power is too low, it can be, hey, it's in vaping. It won't vape because you're not feeding enough power to heat up and, you know, actually, you know, evaporate the juice on it. So you need to check. That's why you need to check your ohms, and because your ohms will tell you what's the power that you need. Yes, sir. You need to check that shit. Well, that's it, guys. I'll be bringing you another video on mech mods. Another video on mech mods, and that's gonna also show you some battery safety, and of course safety in general. It's important when you doing this shit. I mean, vaping in general, it's important to, you know, touch your safety, because that should be priority when you're building and stuff like that, because it can become dangerous if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Plain and simple, you know. Check your shit, check your shit, check your shit. So I can say. Other than that, well, some of you guys might not know me. I'm new to the vaping scene, right? I'm new to vaping. I quit smoking, and I'm very happy about it, because, you know, I'm smoke free for a month and a couple of days already, a month and a week. So I'm very stoked about that, because I've been smoking for 26 years, and one day I just decided to stop, and but I hadn't discovered the true vaping options out there. I just had a little, you know, those little spinner pens that, you know, really, you know, I thought it was like, this is the shit, right? But I didn't even know about subliming or, you know, more powerful units and stuff like that. I was just a little pain. But I moved on, you know, started exploring more, and it actually helped me a lot, because now I am more satisfied with vaping than I was with smoking. So if you want to quit smoking, this is a very good option. It will keep you away from cigarettes. Believe me, I just quit one day and said I'm gonna, you know, just cold turkey and shit. And yeah, I was doing it, but the thing is, the vaping helped a lot, because you're still getting nicotine, right? But the dose of nicotine is very low. I started high, but immediately dropped it. Right now, I'm in sometimes I do hit 6, but I'm in a 3 milligram dosage on nicotine most of the time. When I'm subliming or dripping, I like to go to, you know, 3. If I'm gonna be above ohm tanks, I'll go to 6. So it all depends on what I'm vaping. But it's low because I started at 18, so I'm like on the low one right now. Would I ever go to 0? Probably not, because then what's the point, you know, of vaping in a way? Yeah, it's fun and everything, but if you're not getting a fix, why even go, you know, and, you know, burn to some e-liquid, you know? I'm not competing or anything, just, you know, getting a fix. But it's a fun way to get your fix. So that's about it. Also, for the guys that don't know me, um, I have another channel, and I've had that channel for a while. Um, and that channel is more family oriented. I try to keep my language clean, and because there's a lot of younger people getting in there, and I share a lot of personal stuff that I like. I'm a knife guy, and I like knives a lot, like guns, like fishing. I like a lot of different things, and that channel covers most of the stuff that I like and I collect and stuff like that. And again, it's more family oriented. I joke a lot on that channel, and I have made a lot of good friends on that channel. Um, and I really enjoy, you know, you know, going back and forth, talking to people. Now I have them on Facebook and some on Instagram and stuff like that. So it's been pretty fun. I made a lot of good friends over that channel. This channel I had to make it because I wanted to do a specific vaping channel, just dedicated to vaping, because there's so much out there. It's like fucking overwhelming. Plus, this is an 18 plus channel. I don't want minors, looking at this channel, because they have no business looking at this channel because they're not 18. You need to be 18 and over if you're interested in vaping. You're not 18 and over, you have no freaking business, watching this channel at all. Vaping doesn't mean it's good for you. It's just a better alternative to smoking. My language is a little bit dirtier here. I don't watch my language much, because I do say shit and fuck a lot. It's just I'm more, more loose with my tongue here, and I can express myself a little bit more unfiltered here than on my other channel. On my other channel, I do have to watch a little bit more because she has a family and younger kids, watching the stuff like that. I do a lot of, try to do, gear and outdoor shit, a lot of, I like to fires and, bushcrafting shit and stuff like that, outdoor cooking and stuff like that. So, but this channel is just dedicated to vaping, and I'm going to continue that. I have to juggle back and forth between both channels. It's kind of hard, but I think it's worth it because I do think vaping helps a lot people. I do believe that it helped me quit. So if this channel can get somebody interested in vaping and help them quit smoking, I'll be very satisfied. Even if it's just one person, for me, that's gratifying to me, that I help one person get off cigarettes. Because cigarettes, even though I love smoking, I really love smoking, it was harming me. I felt it, that it was just slowly harming me, and my breathing wasn't right. The way I felt was not right. The older I would get, it would impact my health more. So by switching to vaping, I can feel the difference now on my breathing, my sleeping. I do work out on the field and outdoors, and it's a lot of physical work, and I don't feel as tired or out of breath as before because of vaping. It just helped me in many ways. Even when I used to smoke, there were a lot of places I felt like a leper, like I couldn't be around certain people, and you couldn't be around because people didn't like the smell, and it was uncomfortable, and people always telling me, you gotta quit, you know, it will get like, oh, come on, dude, I know I gotta quit, but shit, you know, it's not easy. So, you know, that also pushed me that I also wanted to quit because of that. In vaping world, you know, it's more accepted, but I thought it was more accepted by people. I figured that I was wrong. Well, at least where I live, people look at you weird when you fucking like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And so it's not as accepted because I think it's too new, at least from my where I'm at. You know, I'm the only probably I haven't seen a lot of people vaping on the streets or stores, or you know, I haven't seen a lot of people. If there are more people, shit, I want to find them so I can, you know, hang out with them and go vaping shit. But I haven't found a lot of people vaping on the streets or in the cars, or, you know, I think I'm the only fool doing that here. And, you know, I don't give a shit. I still like it. I don't want to leave because of that. But, you know, I wish that we had a bigger community of vapors here where I live at. Hopefully I'll find them soon. I know I've gone to, we only have two places you can go here. One is a pretty nice lounge, pretty large, pretty nice. It's a juice. The hardware is alright. They don't have a lot of hardware, a lot of mods and stuff like that, but they have a lot of different juice you can try out, and different lines. It's a very nice bar, type of bar, you know, vape bar, vape lounge, or vape bar, but it's always empty. It's always empty. The times I've gone, it's like empty. There's like nobody there. And then there's another one. They have a bunch of gear. I mean, a bunch of mods and rippers and tanks and stuff like that, and a bunch of Jews. But it's a smaller place. And the times I've gone there, I only see one person in there besides me. So, you know, it's not that popular here yet. Like up north, you see a lot of more people vaping. It's more normal than where I'm here down south. And, you know, I live in the great state of Texas. I love Texas. But, you know, over here down south in Texas, you know, I don't see a lot of people vaping. And it's weird because it's such a great alternative to smoking, you know. Just, I don't understand it. And there's a lot of smokers here. And I still try, you know, I try to convince people that I know that is, you know, they're smoking. I try to tell them, you know, hey, just try vaping, dude. I mean, it's cool as shit. And, you know, start with one thing. If you like it, you can move on to another. There's so many things, there's so many options. That's the great thing about this thing, is so many options out there that, you know, it makes it easy to quit. So, you know, hopefully it can help somebody, either through YouTube or, you know, in person or whatever. Just, you know, quit and you know, take care of their health a little bit better, and you know, feel better, because you do feel better, you know, physically feel better. And it's a fun hobby. I mean, it becomes a hobby. It's just pretty fun to do. So thank you guys for watching. I rambled and talked a lot of shit off subject and stuff, but you know, it's something I wanted to share. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon again on the next one. Bye bye.